Hi, Joona. Thank you for joining me today. I'm very excited to talk to you because, I've known you now for some months and we've been working together. And I have to say, you're one of the most inspiring people I know.
Well, thank you, Laura. It's been an honor working with you. It's been a lot of fun.
Yeah, that's what I think as well. And it's been my privilege to accompany you. You are in a career transition, one could say, maybe,
Yeah.
and you have a big dream. You're aspiring and working towards a huge dream, and you're a very multi-talented guy, and we will soon go into what you actually do. But because I'm a systemic coach, and my tool is always asking systemic questions, and many people don't know what it means. So what it means, one of the things it means is that we always, in the systemic approach, begin from the end.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe you have noticed in our coaching sessions. So I wanted to ask you, I assume that you have come pretty open-minded to this conversation today, but in any case, I'd like to ask you, let's we're at the end of this talk. What should happen in this interview or in this discussion in order for you to feel that it was worth your while to talk to me today?
Well, I think that it would be nice for me to respect my journey more, like what I've done during these months, and to really see the value of coaching and kind of look back and see how far I've come, maybe, and what has happened and what I've gained from this, what have been the benefits, and maybe even compare it to not having had this coaching at all. So yeah, I think that like respecting the past would be a good outcome.
Great, sounds good. Yeah, and it's always good to kind of take a moment at some point of the process to look back and really evaluate for some time that, okay, what has actually happened?
Yeah.
So, but yeah, first, so that anybody watching this video has an idea what you are doing, who you are, would you like to tell us a little bit about, what you're working on right now and what your professional path has been?
Yeah, I'm an electronic pop musician. I've been writing pop music for about 12 years now, and I've released 4 albums with my band, Unzyme. It's here. I always carry it in my sleeve. And my path has been quite like entrepreneurial all this time. I have been an entrepreneur even before starting a band, so I kind of found it a natural way of doing things in the band as well. And I've written all the songs for Unzyme, and there have been some collaborations along the way, but mostly it's just my music, and I have always been working with the band so that they have brought their ideas to the songs and arrangement ideas and such. So it's not a solo project, even though I do most of the writing and stuff. And the style that we do is we do electronic pop music with stadium-sized choruses and deep lyrics. So it's a combination of some kind of philosophical thinking and encouragement and euphoria on the dance floor. So yeah,
that's very great, and I really like your music, I have to say.
Thank you.
So maybe it's also already in that what you told us kind of included what it is, why you're doing this, but if you had to put it in one sentence, what is your why for doing what you do?
Well, I've thought about that lately. Of course, in the beginning, I don't think I had any other reason to do this other than just creating the kind of music that I wanted to hear, and that was not like too prevalent in the world. There wasn't enough of that kind of music that I wanted to listen to. But my why these days is that I want to help people deal with their emotions through the means of music. So that's my mission, to help people understand their inner workings and emotions, and really like go deep into those emotions and kind of experience something that they otherwise might not be able to.
Has it been for you as well with music? Like, do you process your emotions through music?
Yeah, certainly. And it also, I use music to guide my emotions as well. So
Okay.
if I feel somehow stuck, I think that music always helps me get going. And if I kind of want to feel a certain way, I always just turn to music. And I've noticed that in the past few years, for example, I've listened to a lot of audiobooks and podcasts, but they do not create emotions. So I find it, if I listen to podcasts for a day, like instead of listening to music, I feel more stale and bored, and I don't know, somehow torn even. So if I listen to music, I always feel better. So I've kind of started taking more music into my like intake of audio, because it makes me feel better, and that's quite important. So I want to create that feeling in other people as well. And lyrics have always been a very important part of my musical experience. So I've gotten a lot of thoughts and like even life principles through music. So if I have gotten many like life advice from songs, I would also like to give back and kind of help other people as well.
Yeah, that sounds really great. And that's so true what you said about listening to audiobooks and podcasts. I mean, they are great, but it's just information.
Yeah.
And sometimes you're just too full of information and you
Right.
can't really get inspired anymore from that.
It doesn't always help.
Yeah.
I mean, there's a limit to thinking. You need to also do things, and music helps you to do things or think. But I don't think that if you just listen to some information, you may learn things, but so what? I mean, you need to do things more than.
Yeah, but that has been actually one of the most inspiring things about you after working with you now for a few months. Like, you always think about, okay, I have this problem or question, or I'm stuck, and you immediately think, okay, what can I do? What can I do? What can I change in what I do in order to get to where I want to be? And that's really inspiring. And when you came to me, you really had already this goal, like, okay, I want to take my band to the next level. We want to be big. We want to perform to big audiences, and so on and so forth. And then you had already done a lot of work with yourself in order to get to where you want to be. And for a short while, I thought, okay, how can I help this man as a coach? He has so much clarity, because very often people come to me in a situation where they don't have clarity, and that's kind of my thing. I always help them into clarity, and you already seem to have a lot of clarity. So what would you say you have gotten from this coaching in your situation, when you have so much determination and so much clarity, and also very many tools to help yourself already?
One of the main things that I realized during the coaching is that how much I need help from outside. So I was always trying to do things by myself, But then I realized how big my dream is, and that how little time I actually have to realize all aspects of that dream. So I pretty much knew what to do, but not that much about how to do those things. Well, I wasn't a complete idiot in that sense either, but still, I might have had a bit more unrealistic expectations about how much I can actually do by myself or with the band. So I think that coaching has helped me to put things in perspective, and also to clarify the steps but on the way to the bigger goal, to kind of determine the milestones between the big goal, and kind of know what are my smaller goals on the way there. So yeah, clarity in the the process, like knowing the steps, like knowing the terrain ahead.
Yeah,
that's probably one of the biggest benefits. And also like coming back to that dream often, and having to explain that to some like you. And also as an artist, it's sometimes hard to find like understanding from other people, because it's such a different kind of way of looking at things. So sometimes it feels that I'm not being understood, and that my dream is kind of silly, kind of weird. So to have someone ask questions and be really interested in that, it helps me to like keep the faith in my vision, and understand that it is a proper dream, and it can be achieved, and it's not just a dream, it is my life's work. So it kind of helps to have someone who really like is interested in that. It's not all that easy to have those people around who really get you.
I'm sure that's the thing for many artists. That it's just something so different, a different kind of career, a different kind of way of living.
It's a very messy kind of career path, and I think that it's one of the most difficult careers to choose from. I mean, it's so vague. There is no pre-made model. It's unclear, and everybody has to think more about their own version of that. Like, and if you compare that to some like marketing agency, or like if you're a plumber, you know exactly what to do. So if you're an artist, it's there's more freedom, of course, but it comes with more like self-determination. You need to be very aware of what to do next, and that's sometimes very difficult, because your means vary based on your style, your goals, your talent, your like place in the world. Like there are so many variables that are in play.
That's true. And but I'm glad to hear, because it's all about the process, I think, in coaching. Because of course, as an artist coach, I cannot be the expert of every single field of arts or even music, although I am myself a professional in music, but my field is classical. So I don't always know what a hard rock artist has to do in order to get ahead on their career. But I think it's, like you said, it's about the process, to kind of cutting the process into smaller bits, and always to kind of see, okay, where are we at? What needs to be done? And you, as my coachee, are the expert on yourself and on your work. And you actually do have the answers inside you, I think, but I just have to kind of get it out from you, or just kind of maybe help you to put the pieces together and to organize the whole process.
And to face the truth. I mean, to face your, like, what happened? Series trying to listen to me. This happened many times before.
It's okay.
But yeah, what was I saying about, what did you ask?
You actually, the last thing you said was getting kind of getting serious, or kind of being honest about
Right.
what you have
Yeah.
to do.
I mean, as an artist, it's sometimes hard to see your weaknesses or strengths. So it's good to have someone to reflect those features with. So that really helps.
Yeah. So, but what has been kind of the biggest thing that you have learned? You mentioned working with other people, but is that the biggest thing that you've learned from yourself as an artist on this path?
Well, I think that, I don't know if this is the biggest discovery, but one of the main things that I have noticed is that I need to have systems in place, like recurring tasks that happen either daily or weekly, but on a steady rhythm, so that I just keep on building this dream, like brick by brick, very steadily. So if I do that every day, and if I have like an artist coaching session every now and then I know that the things that I'm doing are actually working toward a bigger goal. And if I keep showing up every day, then those things that used to be hard become easier all the time. And maybe that just like knowing where to go, and then those small steps along the way, because like no matter how long the journey is, you still need to take the same kind of steps every day.
Yeah.
So if you know where you're going, then those steps will be useful.
Yeah.
So I guess that like having had these sessions rather often makes me kind of want to do something before the next session, so that I know that what has happened, I know how much I've progressed in that time, and then there's like a checkpoint. So now we're here. Was this worth it? Where are we gonna go next? Kind of.
Yeah.
So I need to see the progress. It's harder to realize where I'm at if I don't have other people around me to look it with.
Yeah, absolutely. And your dream is so big, and the process is very long, and it's a process that maybe never ends exactly. Like, it's an ongoing process. How do you actually connect to this dream and to connect to your love of doing music during such a long process? Because this is actually, it's interesting. It occurs quite often that different coaches, different clients kind of struggle with the same kinds of issues at the same time. And this is one of the issues that has come up lately very often, that artists kind of are in a slump motivationally, or they don't get joy from rehearsing or doing what they do. And this is maybe something that other people don't realize. We always think an artist is always motivated because they are so kind of living it, and it comes from the heart, and it's their purpose in life. But it's not like that. You get to this kind of, like I said, slumps where you don't really connect. What helps you when you get to that kind of a situation?
Well, first of all, I've learned that mood follows action. So if you don't feel like doing, you better start doing, because then you'll start feeling like you're doing that thing, and then it helps to get started.
Take it till you make it.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. That's kind of a mind trick that you can do in that situation. But well, I've never really had any problem like continuing the artistic work when I have the opportunity to do so. I guess that the biggest trouble during all these years of musicianship has been to organize the supporting structures of my career so that I wouldn't need to worry about whether I have the time or the money to work on music stuff.
Yeah.
Because whenever I have the circumstances very well put so that I can just concentrate on music, I have no trouble creating. But sometimes when I've had to kind of put that dream aside in order to make some money, then I feel like I'm missing out, because I'd rather be writing songs and performing. And
are those the moments when you think, okay, now I can't connect to my dream because I can't make music right now?
I kind of need to set that dream aside for a while, or kind of think about it as another aspect of working toward my dream, because then I know why I'm doing the other thing, to fund the main thing. That's my why. So as long as I know why I'm doing things, then it's easier to do. And it's like, I don't know how the old saying goes, but whoever has a strong why can endure almost any how. So
that's a good way to put it.
Yeah. So I've always had the why in my mind, because I've wanted to hear the music that I make and create the kind of, it's always been very, very rewarding to get songs done, and like having created something that you enjoy yourself has been, I don't know anything better than that. Performing is maybe the best aspect of that journey, when the song is written and then when it actually connects with people and you actually like recreate that emotional connection in that life situation.
Yeah, and that's actually interesting, because another aspect of our working together has been that the pandemic has been there all the time, and it's like right now giving a little promise that it'll get better, maybe not go away, but get better. And you have not had the chance to perform, and during this whole pandemic, you have still worked on your dream, and you haven't given up, and you haven't lost your hope. How is that possible? What makes you so resilient during the pandemic as a musician?
That's a good question. Well, live performances have always been like the biggest joy for me, but also like writing music is of course fun, and this kind of has enabled more time to that. But I guess it's going back to the saying that if you know your why, then you can endure anyhow. So this has been an obstacle that has been laid on everyone, so we can't really choose. I mean, you can only choose how you respond to things. So this is the reality. So as soon as you accept reality, then you can move on. There's no point in like giving up or mourning the situation, or kind of feeling sorry for yourself, because that will surely kill your motivation. I mean, progress is something that you need to have in order to feel like to live a meaningful life. So I think I have still made progress along the way, like all the time, like writing songs or doing live streams or networking with people. I've met a lot of new people during this time online, during like my own networking event that I started organizing. So I thought that, well, this is an opportunity. Like every chaos has opportunities in it. So I've been, I'm very optimistic and very solution centered. So I always kind of think about, okay, there's a wall, but everybody's staring at the wall. So how can I go around it or below it or blow it up? So yeah, I guess that I saw many opportunities in the pandemic as well.
Yeah.
And I've made a lot of contacts during this time.
That's really great. And I think what you are doing right there, and what is also in coaching always the case, that we work in the field of our influence. Like, first you accept it, this is how it is. And what is the area where I can be active, what I can influence. I can't influence the pandemic going away or like live concerts taking place, but I can do this and I can do that. So that is very, very wise of you, and also connects to kind of the systemic way of thinking, like always work in the field of your influence, in the area where you have power.
No, there's no point in worrying or thinking beyond your reach, I guess.
I think it's important when something like that hits us. Of course, you have to maybe for a moment give yourself the permission to fall, to mourn, to cry, and to be angry. Like, but then when you have done that, you can look, okay, what's my area of influence where I can operate?
The sooner you accept reality, the sooner you get going again.
That's so true. So you're on your way, but in addition to working on your own career and your band's future, you said, you are networking with many other musicians and music managers and many people in the field of music. You are yourself in Finland, but you have many international connections as well. So after getting to know all these people, and some of them are like successful musicians, people who have arrived, so to say, and some of them are on the way. What would you say, what is the difference between the one who makes it and the one who has to give up or gives up at some point?
I think the only difference is resilience and maybe optimism. And I don't want to say belief, because that's a given. You kind of need to believe in yourself anyway. But showing up, because of course you need to have some luck as well, but be prepared. Like, you should do things every day so that when the opportunity comes, then you're ready for it. So I guess that people who have been successful, the only difference is that they have been preparing all that time for that success. Like, so that when they kind of get discovered, then it's like obvious that they are fantastic people who you want to work with. So I guess that, like, focusing on your skills and your like musicianship and your, I don't know, value as a partner in the music industry, that will always pay off. Because if it's evident that you are someone who is a pleasure to work with and who will like lift other people up, so if you're a driving force, then people will want to work with you. So work on yourself, your own craft, release a lot of music, reach out, be of benefit, be of help to other people. And I guess that also just don't think about yourself, and don't take any like opportunity as a given, or expect to get anything for free, or like to I mean, I guess gratitude is one. Those people who have been successful are probably very grateful for all the help that they've gotten. And I guess, well, but the main thing is your craft, and making that visible and easy to find, and self-evident professionalism that is present everywhere in social media.
It's truly all about the work you are doing in the dark, so to say.
Yes,
before the discovery or whatever.
For example, I'm a big fan of Sia, the Australian singer songwriter, who made a long career, like 15 years or almost 20 years before being discovered in her 40s. And now she's making a fantastic career, like one of the biggest songwriters in the world. And that took some faith and some believing and a lot of failures, I'm sure. But she is, I don't know, one of my idols in this regard. And I've always liked long careers. And I think that those who do not succeed is like the difference between those who do and who don't is that the ones who don't, they give up too soon. It's a choice. You accept failure.
That's well put. It's a choice. Like you can choose, do I give up now or do I not give up now? And it might be it's truly very, very tempting to give up after failing many times. But another thing, like all the things you just said are, I think, also about leadership. Like as a leader of yourself and of your band, you kind of have to be resilient. You have to have the goal and believe in it and not give up and all those things. And that's one of the things we have also been working on your leadership, because you are the leader of your band, of your company, so to say, the whole endeavor. So what have you, during our coaching, learned about yourself as a leader of a creative group?
That's a good question. I guess that I've learned more to recognize how to communicate to my team members and what to ask. And I mean, it's all about knowing how they operate and what's the best way for them to do things. So I've learned to be more curious about their personalities and kind of adapting my leadership ways, I guess, so that they feel more comfortable and that they also get their own rewards from participating. So I kind of need to know what drives them in order for me to be able to offer some part in this project that is rewarding for them as well. So I kind of, in order for them to participate in my dream, I need to participate in their dream as well. So I basically work for them.
That's also a very good way of putting it. Like a leader for you, if I understand you correctly, is not someone who tells the others what they are to do. But you are actually in their service.
Yes, definitely. And I've also learned to give more responsibility to my team members and to concentrate on what I do best and what is the essence, what I bring, what's my strongest way of like participating in my own dream. Because sometimes like having control doesn't mean that you should be in control. I mean, like song arrangements, for example, or like deciding on the chords of the song. I'm not the best at that thing. I mean, I can write chords and I can write arrangements, but there are other people who are way better at that than I am. So I'd rather concentrate on the melodies and the words and some sounds of and synth riffs of songs. So those are the things that make Unzyme's music more, I mean, those are the elements that make the music. So if some other parts of that process are better done by other people, then I'd better let them do that.
Yeah, that's a great realization, and I think that's for leaders in arts or wherever, but I think especially in arts, I would say,
Yeah.
Where you work with such experts, like people who are really highly skilled on what they do. It's really important to kind of realize that, and I think it's kind of might be a problem for people as yourself who are, like I said, multi-talented. Like you could basically, I think, after knowing you now for a while, you could do all the parts. Like you, from marketing, from marketing to video productions, photo shoots, I don't know, websites. So is it more motivating for you when you can concentrate on the parts where you are really strong and good at?
Yeah, for sure. But I think that it's even more interesting to actually hear how much better the song becomes when other people bring their own talent into the mix. Yeah. Because when I hear the song with these new things in it, and it becomes so much more interesting and so much more fluent and emotional, then I better just step back and enjoy that and respect that the work that they've done. And I think that for them to feel like motivated to continue, they need to have that input as well. So it goes both ways. I mean, I give my best to the project and they bring theirs, and it's better that way because everybody like cares more about the end result. So there's more care in the package. So
it's exactly like that. I think like motivating for everyone when it's working like that. One more question to your kind of how you work as a band. Like, how did you end up choosing this model of kind of business and band combination?
Well, in the very beginning, I started this as a solo project, but then I sent the demos to a friend of mine who then told me that he would like to play drums if there ever was a need for that. And then that kind of opened my eyes to the option of working with more like a band format of things. And then also, like even before that, I had like applied, I had searched for somebody to write songs with and to somebody to take care of the synthesizers and programming and stuff. But I couldn't find that person, so I started doing that by myself, and I kind of always relied on myself in that because like it was hard to find people. So I thought that, well, fuck it, I'll do it myself then. But then as I kind of slowly started finding these people, then I thought that it's actually easier this way to work with a band, and also the live performance side of things has always been way more interesting with more people on stage. It's more energizing, and I've always liked rock music a lot, so it kind of brings the rock energy to the stage presence. But like this could have gone more into a more like democratic way of doing things. I still like to lead, and as I had already been an entrepreneur for a long time, I thought that I kind of wanted to make the band also like a company. And I have always been a big fan of Bon Jovi, who runs his band like a company, and he is the leader, and everybody kind of associates the band with him, and well, he is.
But what's the kind of benefit in like comparison to a normal democratic form of
Well,
being in a band.
well, for me, it's always been more about like protecting the future. So I've known that I can rely on myself if other people didn't want to continue. So I wanted this to be a lifelong thing. So I thought that if some other people cannot subscribe to that model, which I totally understand, then I can't really expect. I mean, I can't build on something that may not last if my goal is to go on forever. So that's kind of my thinking process. Why I wanted to like keep most of the control to myself, like the songwriting process, for example, so that if people come and go in the band or in the team, then I can still continue without having to start over.
Yeah.
So that was the thinking process.
Okay, so kind of protecting the dream and kind of making sure the future, the kind of the goal
in a way.
gets kept in mind.
But I have seen many successful models from people who do it differently, and they kind of always just find a new band and then they do amazing things within those bands. And I don't think this is the right model, but I've always been like that much ego driven that I want to have my like signature in the music, like a rather big signature. so that's always kind of been motivating to me. And I think that quite many artists are like that. They want to have their input, or like, I don't know.
Yeah, sure.
They want to make their mark in the world. So
yes, I'm sure it's like that. Yeah. Okay, so just to wrap up at the end, what would you say during this whole process of being on the path, we working together, doing coachings? What has been the biggest takeaway, the biggest benefit for you from the whole process?
It has been prioritizing my dream, my biggest dream, like making that number one. So I had always had this big dream, but I don't think that I had the real courage to tell myself that this is my dream, this is my life's work, and this is what I need to do, and everything else is just in support of that dream. So like trusting that dream and allowing myself to put that in the forefront of everything that I do. So
I really see that
belief
in everything that you do. Well, that's great to hear. And yes, as I said, I can see how you are on the path and how you come again and again to the dream and kind of keep it in the focus. And I'm sure you will make it, and I think we will continue working on it together as well.
Yeah, for sure.
And just for at the end, I just wanted to kind of do a little bit ad for you. You have a really interesting podcast, unfortunately only in Finnish,
at
least now. Maybe you will expand to English, but
I've thought about that.
I think you should. But in any way, for anyone who knows Finnish, they can go on Spotify and listen to Antoisan elämän avaimet. Did I go
Askeleet.
Askeleet. Antoisen elämän askeleet. Yes. Antoisan elämän askeleet. So they are nice 10-minute pieces you can listen to as a start for your day and get inspired to life. Generally.
I like to share what I've learned, so that's my way of giving back.
So I really recommend that. And your music is on YouTube, on Spotify, so anyone who is interested in listening to Unzyme's deep
lyrics
songs
and stadium-sized choruses.
Yes.
Unzyme.com.
Yeah, so go ahead and listen and take a look. And thank you very much for
You're
talking
welcome.
to me today.
Yeah, it's been a pleasure.
For me as well, in any case. And yeah, I wish you a very nice, we are actually having this conversation before Easter time, so very, very nice and relaxing Easter time, and take care.
Yeah, it's going to be fun. Thank you. See ya.
Thank you. Bye.